Welcome to the ZoShow Live. I am Coach Zo, and today we are talking about your why. I have a special guest with me here, my son Reneus. Ray, you gonna say hi? Hi. Ray's 4 years old. He's not feeling too well, so he stayed home with me today. I also had a picture of my other one, Joaquin, because these lives, when I look back, they all look kind of similar. So I was like, hey, if I have pictures of my kids, hopefully it makes the thumbnails. And then you're like, oh, it's a new live. It's not the one before, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
And how these are those off the ceiling.
And so today we're going to talk about your why. Okay. Oh yeah. Joaquin is 6. Ray is 4. And their mom is,
Years old.
you're 4 years old, right, honey? Yeah. And their mom is the reason why I do what I do. And that's a little bit of a joke, but not really, right? Like I take care of mom. Mom takes care of them, and we keep this family going. And so today I want to talk to you about your why, right? Knowing your why, knowing why you do what you do. Why do you get up for the early practices? Why do you stay for the late games? When you understand those things, that's going to be your single greatest superpower as a coach, right? It's going to help you coach your teams with certainty and clarity. So today I will tell you why you need to know your why. And I'll start by telling you mine. Okay, so to understand my why, you kind of got to understand me, right? It's a little bit cringeworthy, but we're just going to do it, right? So my name is Lorenzo Nicanor Araujo. I am a first generation Dominican. I got Dominican parents, right? I grew up in New York City. I tend to leave that part out because I just assume it's not a big deal. And then everybody's like, oh my goodness, you grew up in New York City. So yeah, I grew up in New York City. Mom is a teacher. Dad's a doctor, right? Bolo's a doctor. Yeah, Bolo's a doctor. We grew up, it was my mom and my sister, and ever since I can remember, we loved to read. We loved reading books, chapter books, biology books, chemistry books. We loved doing homework. We loved science projects. What I love secretly... What? Hey, no. Can I finish my live? Yeah. These people are accounting to hear some important stuff. Can I tell them? Yeah. I love you. Are you going to stay here or are you going to go upstairs? Okay, if you're going to stay, you got to be quiet, okay? God bless. Here we go. So, anyway, something that I secretly loved was like, you know how kids would have a project and they'll wait till the last minute to tell their mom, hey, we have a project. I loved doing that because my mom was so good at all-nighters. And like, we would just go through the encyclopedias and we would have games. Who could find the information first? Like she made it so much fun. Like she made learning so much fun. And so that's what we did growing up. Like we learned and we studied and we read. We didn't really play too many sports. I did basketball over the summer, but that was about it. Like for the most part, that's all we did until the end of my 8th grade year. And I was like, I think I want to wrestle next year in high school. And we didn't have wrestling in middle school. That wasn't a thing. And what you don't know about New York City is unless you want to go to the school in your district, the high school in your district, you had to apply to get into high school, right? You can get into whatever high school you want. New York City probably had like 250 high schools. Some of them were a lot stricter, right? They were like the Harvard of high schools, or you had to do like a performing arts high school. You had to apply, or others of them had specialty things like wrestling. So I applied to Truman High School. It had wrestling. It was in my borough. I was like, all right, bet. I'm going to go to Truman. I'm going to wrestle. Well, I didn't wrestle my first year because I was like, oh, it's high school. It's high school. It's a different game. I was good at middle school. Am I good at high school? So I was like, let me get my feet wet. Let me make sure I understand the process. And then next year I will start wrestling. I'll start doing sports. And at the end of that semester, my dad says, what did he say? You guessed it. We're moving to Kansas. Now he had mentioned it before, but I was like, there's no way we're moving to Kansas, right? Like that's not a real place. That doesn't exist. Like we live where we need to live. Everything is right here. Okay. So we up and moved to Kansas. And due to some super boring details that I won't like bore you with, by the time I went into my second year of high school, I was a junior. Okay. Which is awesome. Like I skipped a year of high school, but I wanted to play sports. So I made some friends over the summer, and they're like, yo, we play football. Like, that's what we do around here. Like, I bet I'll play football. Let's go do it. Football, wrestling, it's a sport. Like, it don't really matter. Like, it's the same thing, right? You can only imagine how that went. Horrible, terrible, right? Like, I've never played sports before. I'm undersized. I don't know the sport. It was just bad, right? Like, they had me on the offensive line, and I'm talking about getting tackles and getting sacks, and they're like, bro, we're like, it was all bad. But 4A school, Larned, Kansas, I needed to be on the team because we only have 40 people going out. So, you know what numbers are. But I played because I wanted to play sports. I thought that would be a great thing. I thought that would make me happy, so I did it. And then I went out my senior year because I finally got the hang of football. I was like, oh, I was an idiot last year. This year I know what's going on. I'm gonna go do it. So I'm on the football team, but I know what's going on, but I'm still not good because I'm made it all the way to 15, 16 years old without playing any sports. You can imagine I'm behind everybody, right? But I get okay. I figure it out enough. But now I graduate, I go to college, and my freshman year of college, I didn't play any sports. I went to K-State. I was like, I got to hang it up. But I felt this longing to play football. Like, I think I got a little bit in the tank. So I tried out a few different places, tried out K-State, tried out at Fort Hays, tried out. And finally, the football coach at Bethany was like, yo, we got a spot for you on the team. What I thought was, oh, snap, like they see something in me. What I learned now being a college coach was like, oh, this guy wants to pay to play football in college. We'll take his money, right? But that's fine because I was happy to give it to him. So it was fair exchange, no robbery. So now I'm at Bethany, and if you've never played football in college, if you ever played football in college, you know that your schedule is in the morning, you have video, then you have class, then you have video, or you have film, then you have practice, then you have weights. Like, that's every day. Film, class, film, weights, or film, practice, weights, right? Every day. So then it's the end of the season, and I got nothing to do. Hold on, I didn't even turn the light on. Hold on. I'm so nervous about this story, right? But it's the end of the season, and I don't have anything to do, right? Like, my whole day was structured, and now there's no football. We don't have film. We don't have nothing. It's just class, and I figured that out. So I'm going to work out because I love working out, right? Do I like working out?
Yeah.
I love working out. So I go to work out, and I'm leaving the weight room, and my friend, R.I.P. Nicolette, she's like, hey, Zoe, come here. Come spot this stunt. And I was like, I don't know what that means. And she was like, just make sure that she doesn't die. Oh, I could do that. That's nothing, right? So I'm spotting stunts and I'm catching that. Oh, good job. And they're like, oh, you should put up a prep. Again, I'm like, I don't know what that means. Like, hey, just put her up here, boom, 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 boom. And then catch her when she comes down. Oh, okay. No problem. So I put up the prep. Then they're like, oh, you know what? You should put up a lib. And I was like, okay, how do I do that? They're like, okay, you grab her ankle and then you grab her butt and you push up. Okay. This smells like a setup. Like, I'm not saying it's a setup, but I know what a setup feels like. And so I put my hand on her ankle and her lower back. And she's like, no, you gotta put it on her butt. I was like, okay, I'll put my hand on her ankle and like her thigh. And finally, the flyer cashmere, she grabbed my hand, put it on her butt and said, go. I looked at the flyer. I looked at the coach. She said, go. Oh, this is what y'all want? Boom. We hit that lib all the way to the top. Now thinking back, like, that was pretty cool. And we cradle it and everybody's hyped. Like, oh, that was awesome, incredible. That was awesome, Lorenzo. That was awesome. Come back tomorrow. I've never heard that before. Like, when I was on the football team, they were just happy that I was paying for class, that I was paying for football. When I was on the football team in high school, they were just happy that they had numbers, but they didn't really care if I was there or not. They just wanted a warm body. This was the first time where there was a group of athletes who saw me as an athlete. Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow, right? So then I joined the squad. I'm like, hey, I'll be here for basketball and whatever else, but I have to do football. And they're like, all right, no problem. So I do that, finish the semester. Next year, we're on our way to camp. And the Kashmir, she's the captain, and she's like, if we don't get a spare stick, I'm knocking your neck off. Make sure you have tight motion. She's yelling about stuff that I don't understand, right? I don't really know cheerleading like that. And I'm like, man, she seems upset. I don't know what she's mad about. We get to camp, and no one told me it's 12 guys, 300 girls. I was there the whole time, like, oh, hi, hi, hi. Oh, we have a stunt. Okay, okay, let me stunt. Hi, hi. Like I was so distracted. I just wasn't prepared, right? So that was like my first year. I was just like a kid in a candy store, just no idea what was going on. But that was my junior year. When it comes to my senior year, though, things change a little bit. I We're on our way to camp, and I'm like, you guys better tighten up, better make sure you get these motions, because if we don't get a bid here, we're not competing this year. And I'll be darned if that doesn't happen again, right? And now I turn into Cashmere, and I'm the one yelling and screaming about making sure that we're doing things the right way. But I was hurt. My feelings were hurt because at the end of my junior year, we were supposed to compete, and at the last minute, the school was like, we decided we don't want to pay for that, right? And so our hearts were broken. We were practicing, and then all of a sudden they're like, we're not paying for that. And so coming into camp, I was like, I'm not gonna let that happen again. I'm the captain now. That's not happening, right? And so it got so bad. We went to camp, and our coach, she was younger. She just had graduated. She took over, and we had it was a camp party, so the staff was there and the athletes were there. The coaches could come. Well, our coach is up there grinding on one of the staffers, like super inappropriate. But we're having a good camp. I get everybody around, and I'm like, hey, we don't have to talk about what went on, right? Like, I don't care how you feel about coach. I don't care what you think about coach. If this gets out, we lose another opportunity to compete. Hold it down. Let's do what we got to do with or without her, right? So we have that team meeting. We go on through the season, and we're fundraising. And now we pay for camp. We know we're going. So we get a choreographer, Daryl Green, shout out, assistant coach at Penn State. And he puts our routine together, and all we do is practice. 3 hours a day. Practice. And we don't know anything about cheer, right? We don't know how to clean. We don't know how to walk sharp, but Daryl's coaching us through this. Practice. Everything's falling out the sky. Practice. Pyramids falling out the sky. Practice. But what I heard one time was like, hey, if you fall, don't move until it's time to transition, because that's going to cost us even more points. So I put up like a 1-1-1, but I followed on my 1-1-1, and I just hold there. And then I get up to transition. They were like, Zoe, are you okay? I was like, we just got to move the counts, right? So we're practicing. And the whole time, none of us know what we're doing. So it's chaotic. It looks crazy. Coach has never coached a team that's competed, right? It looks crazy. But she said, again. Well, we ran out of time, right? So we go to nationals, we go to competition, and we're feeling good. I'm about to throw up. I'm the captain, so I take on the burden, right? I just do that with everything. So I go to sleep early. They're walking around downtown having a great time. I go to sleep at 8 o'clock. I'm like, yo, I need to make sure that my head's in the game. And I'm thinking about yo, how am I going to keep this team positive? Like, what are we going to do? So whatever. We get to competition, and everybody's feeling good. Everybody's up. Everybody's energetic. And then we get into the warm-up room, right? We're at the warm-up room, and in comes Coffeyville. Coffeyville just went to, so we're at COA Nationals in Kansas City, super low key, but it was everything to us, right? Coffeyville just came back from UCA in January. They took 8th in the nation. We don't know that there's only 9 teams that competed in junior college. We just know that they took 8th, right? And when they hit the warm-up room, man, they made a splash. They come in chanting super hard, round off back handspring fulls, standing fulls, basket fulls, things that we don't do, right? We're competing tucks and layouts, but they come in swinging. And now everybody on my team is stressed. Yo, who is that? We got to go against them? Are you serious? And so I round them up again, just like I did at the beginning of the season. I'm like, yo, come here. They got to clock in like we got to clock in. They have a job to do like we have a job to do. So instead of worrying about what they're doing, worry about hitting your skills, because this warm-up room, that's not where you get scored at. You get scored at out there. So why don't we focus on what we got to do and then go do it out there? So we were in front of them in the warm-up room. We were actually waiting to get on. And now we're on deck, and that's like a separate room. I don't know if you've ever been to college, but that's on deck in a separate room. And while they're on their last mat, somebody breaks their ankle. I don't tell my team. We locked in, right? But I see that they're just ready to go on. So now we're going on to compete. I've never competed. No one here has actually competed. And all I could think about is If you've ever been to an all-star competition, there's lights everywhere. And the lights are like super bright pointing down. And all I could think is, I'm not going to hit my first stunt. I've been yelling at my team this whole year, and I'm not going to hit my first stunt because the lights are right where the shoes are supposed to be when I catch this toss awesome. Man, that the bell rings, ding, ding, music starts, I forget everything. Toss, top, beautiful. And all of a sudden, I'm having like an outer body experience. I forget, this whole time we're going through the practice season, the competition season, I'm telling everybody, focus on your counts. 1 means 1. If you go on 1, you move on 1. If you move on 3, move on 3. Clean on 5, clean on 5. Like, I'm stressing that out. Be present about the moment. Don't worry about the skills you didn't hit. Don't worry about the skills you're about to hit, right? I'm just like, right now. But now we're at competition and I'm not there. I'm literally having an outer body experience watching myself compete. I'm like, ooh, that toss was good. So let's see what else you do. And then we continue that section and we do a full up. Ooh, okay, you're doing something right there. And we transition. As we transition, I'm looking out there in the crowd. I see Coach. First of all, I don't know how I saw Coach because it's an all-star competition. Like there's lights everywhere. But I see Coach. She's hype. I'm hype. I'm about like, you about to see, look at these, we're about to do something to these baskets, right? So now we throw baskets. Baskets go crazy. It's back tuck X out baskets. They're great. They look great. And we do our pyramid. I'm like, oh, this pyramid is flowing. Jumps. Oh, okay. Jumps going dumb right now. And we get all the way past, I think jumps is actually the second to last thing we do. And I'm like, man, I don't know, but I'm feeling like we have 0 deductions right now. I'm feeling like we did something right now. And all we have left is the dance section. Like, we're about to kill it. All we have left is, and Daryl, I'm still mad at you for this, because why do we have people crossing center? That's a choreography faux pas, but I'm going to let you live because it's the greatest moment of my life, right? All we have is our smallest flyer, Michelle, and our biggest bass, our best bass, Summer. They just got to switch spots. We start a dance section, right? So here comes Michelle. Here comes Summer. And if you're competing, you just got to get to your spot, right? Like you're not looking, you're just trying to get to your spot. Well, they bump into each other. I'm standing. I'm literally watching. And I'm like, we hit 0. And now Michelle's about to hit the ground. Like I know she's about to hit the ground. That's got to be a deduction. Somehow Michelle, she like does a 360 jerk, come back up, pop. Hit that first motion for dance. I said, no, she didn't. And now I'm tearing this dance up. I already love the dance section. I saw Michelle get up. We go dumb. And we finished that performance. And I'm literally crying, right? Because there's no better feeling than a hit routine. And I know with my heart of hearts that we just hit that routine. And I just take off. I just find a corner, a closet, and I'm just crying like, I can't believe we just did that. I can't believe this group of misfits who've never cheered before, who cheered in middle school, who have been, that we just hit a routine like that. I told them, I was like, I know Central Christian is competing today. I know Coffeyville is competing today, but I don't care what we take, what placement we take. That was the most amazing experience of my life, right? Even to this day, I'm 34 now. That was 20 years ago. Maybe not 20, I guess, 15 years ago. Only 3 things better than that is like my marriage, my kids, right? That's still one of the greatest experiences of my life. And so I told them, like, we did what we had to do today. I'm super proud of y'all. And it was in that moment that I was like, there's no way I'm done with this sport. There is no way that this sport has given me so much, right? More than I can ever. All I want to do is wrestle. I just wanted to wrestle, y'all. And instead, I found a sport that wanted me, that accepted me, that said, hey, you're not athletic? That's fine. We'll help you. Hey, you're not strong? That's fine. We'll help you. Hey, you are perfect just the way you are, right? And it was that motto that I was like, I have to give back. I have to let everyone else know. I have to scream it from the mountaintops that this sport exists and that it's here for you, right? Like I'm almost like a Seventh-day Adventist. I don't even know what it's called. I don't want to be disrespectful, right? But those people who knock on your door, let me tell you about Jesus Christ. That's what I do when I see somebody who should be a cheerleader. Let me tell you about this sport right here. You must not know it. Because if you knew it, you'd be here, right? And that's my why. Let's get back to it. That's my why. My why is that there is a sport that not only tolerates you, but celebrates you, that's dying to have you here, that whether you're short, tall, big, whatever, small, skinny, strong, you will excel here. We have a spot for you, right? And we're going to use this platform to lift you up. We're going to use this platform to show you your greatness. We're going to use this platform to show you your excellence. We're going to use this platform for you to see just exactly how powerful you are, right? Because you didn't know that. You didn't know that. My favorite age to coach, I coach all ages, but my favorite age to coach is 12-year-olds. Because at 12, you hate the world, you hate your mom, you hate your dad, hormones running all through your body, you hate yourself, and you just want to be angry, right? Oh my God, it's my favorite age. Oh, you mad? Don't worry, I'll fight you all day because I love you and I know you're great. You just don't know you're great, right? And so that's my why. And so now that I have my why, so let's get out of all the emotions, right? Let's get back to logic. So I have my why, right? This sport helped me be celebrated. There was a spot for me here. That's my why. There's a spot for you here. So now when I'm coaching and so I have Titans right now, I coach a recreational team. And they're like, can we start the team? Absolutely. But you guys have been practicing. Come here. Don't worry about that. I'll find a spot for you. Don't worry. I'll plug you into the routine. Don't worry about that, right? And it's funny because I run this company, but I can imagine there being some contention with that anywhere else. But my parents know there's a place for you here. They know that. They know that's how I run my team. If you don't like that, that's fine. I understand. It's not for everybody. There might be other teams. We're in the middle of Kansas, so go to Wichita if you like. Go to Topeka if you like. But here, in the desert and on the farm, this is how we do it, right? And when you know your why, you're able to fight those fights, right? I had a girl come in yesterday who suffers from severe anxiety. First, praise the Lord that I'm in my soft coaching era, because 12 years ago, I did not believe in that. Okay, you have anxiety though? Cool, I'll accept that. But I was extra patient with someone where I'm not even that patient with him, right? I was extra patient with her because I know what it feels like to feel like you don't belong. I know what it feels like to feel like you're a burden because you're trying to participate, I know what that feels like. So even though it's uncomfortable and I shouldn't have to, and it's more work, that's my why. And so I can put that energy into them. And this is why this is your superpower. This is why knowing your why is your superpower, right? Because we've all heard it. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. You can show how much you care when you know why you care. You ever just freak out about something you don't understand why you're freaking out? We got to get the red Toyota. Why are we getting a red Toyota? We got to get the red Toyota. But deep down, and when you were 8 or when you were 9, your dad really tried to buy a red Toyota and they told him away, and then I stuck with you forever, and then you sold yourself and you grew up and was a big kid and you get your own Toyota, you was going to get the red one, right? When you know why you care, you can go extra hard for those that you care about, and they'll know that. They'll receive that energy and they'll go extra hard for why they care for you. So your homework, and I don't even give homework, but make sure you know your why, right? If you're coaching a team and you don't even know why you said yes, right? There was a reason. Examine that. Look into that. Focus on your why, and then live in your why. Live in your why. Don't explain it. Zo, coach, can I do my back handspring? No. Why can't I learn back handsprings? Your back walkover is not where I need it to be, right? Safety is part of my why. I'm not going to have you breaking your neck in your back handspring because your back walkover is not where it needs to be. Know your why and then own it. You do that, you'll take over. All right, guys. Thank you so much, Ray. Thank you so much. Let's get the tools that we need to help the people that we lead succeed. Thank you so much, and we'll see you later. Peace. Ray, say bye.
Bye.
See you guys.